Welcome to Inside the Playbook presented by Hoosier Network. I am your host, Gabe Jenkins, and I'm joined by my co-hosts, Noah Seuss and Campbell Manahan. Fellas, how's it going?
It's going great today. It's a beautiful day outside here in Bloomington. The weather's warmed up a bit. It's sunny. And sports have just been going great. For me personally, yesterday was an elite day of college hoops, and that's my favorite sport. I watched probably too much college basketball last night, but I had a lot of fun doing it. What have you guys been watching recently?
I've been watching a lot of hockey. The New York Islanders have won 2 straight, beating the Rangers and the Devils, and they run the tri-state area when it comes to hockey.
And I've been watching the Bulls because switching TV providers, I finally get the Bulls Sports Network, so I get to watch the Bulls for first time in a while, and it's really great. And you know what, guys? They dropped some really good uniforms this weekend. The City Connects for the Bulls are very cool. They're very representative of the Chicago flag, and it's very cool.
Gotta love Josh Giddey, am I right?
Yeah, I mean, the city jerseys are just now coming out for all these teams. I'm a Pacers fan. Pacers suck right now, and that's okay with me. But the jerseys are fire. A lot of retro-themed jerseys going on. The Chicago jerseys, I saw them. They're really cool. Just a lot of, really cool new jerseys coming out in the NBA, and that's just exciting because, you get to buy a new jersey with your favorite player on it, and it can look really cool. Cool.
Also in the NFL, the Rams are wearing their rivalry jerseys this weekend against the Seahawks, so I'm excited to see those on the field too.
Jerseys are I think it's just a good way of expressing and just making it feel like a big game. So the Rams doing that is just, because this is a major game, the Rams Seahawks, both 7-2. Winner will be the top in the NFC and top of the division. It's just a major game, and just wearing those jerseys just really sets you up for a big time showing.
And now we're going to move back to our typical jerseys that we cover. We're talking NFL today. We're talking about the Bears a lot. So 2 weeks ago, the Bears played the Bengals, and on this 4th down and 2 at the goal line, we're going to see something really just Ben Johnson-like. Rome Odunze is going to come around here. Caleb's going to pitch it to Rome, and then Rome's going to pitch it back to DJ Moore coming around, and then Caleb's actually been running a flat the whole time, and that's a touchdown. It's just a truly incredible play and something Ben Johnson has been designing.
I truly love the creativity of Ben Johnson's playbook because you don't know what you're going to see every Sunday. This was just a Philly special type play, and it really worked out for the Bears.
But this was not the Philly special. Do not get me wrong. This was the Ben Johnson special right here. I mean, this man has every single trick play in his bag ever. He's just going to keep creating new ones. He never will not have a new one per game.
And now we're going to move on to another Caleb Williams play, but it's not a touchdown, and it's not even a pass. You're going to see the pocket kind of collapses on Caleb. He maneuvers it perfectly. This is one of Caleb's strengths, and he just keeps moving. Juke, stiff arm, keep moving, move again, slide down out of bounds. What a play by Caleb.
Yeah, Caleb does a lot. My favorite thing he does is that he can create his own type of play. Like this one. When nothing is open downfield, he can say, I can do it myself, which is exactly what he does here.
Yeah, I mean, Caleb, as we're just going to watch all day today, is just very improvisational with these plays. Just if it breaks down, he's going to be able to make a play with his legs.
And so this next play is going to be a jet sweep pass to Zacchaeus, and he's just going to run faster than everyone else on this play. He's going to take that ball, run a little out and up, and just dive for the pylon there. Terrific play by Zacchaeus.
You can't give a player like Zacchaeus with that type of speed that much room on the football field. He's just going to make it hurt every time.
Yeah, I mean, just Zacchaeus is so fast, and just that little bit of just Ben Johnson clearly knows he has this guy with this much speed. We're just going to creatively get that ball into his hands and just be able to get him into open space and go get a touchdown.
So this next play is a little bit of a fun play. It's not too much crazy into the scheme, but it's still extremely impressive for Caleb Williams. You're going to see this defender come right up the middle. Caleb's like, uh-oh, I got to move. And he does. He spins out of it, spins out of another guy, and just hucks the ball at the back of the end zone. And uh-oh, Bears fans, it hits the upright.
Yeah, I mean, just scares from the Bears fans of just PTSD from their past. coming from that play.
Hey, at least this time it didn't double doink off the upright. It just hit one upright.
Yeah,
So
only one this time.
so not that much trauma for the Bears fans.
All right, so this next play is going to be Colston Loveland's first touchdown. You're going to look at him up here. He's just going to run a slant, and Caleb Williams puts it in a perfect spot because it's right beside this defender and out of his reach, and it's right in the pocket of Colston Loveland.
I was very high on Colston Loveland going into the draft, and I'm finally happy to see the Bears using him correctly. This game, he really had a breakout game, and we're going to see more of him later.
Yeah, I mean, Colston Loveland finally having this breakout. He was picked number 9 overall. Just like a lot of like hope for this player to be really, really, like really awesome in this offense. They clearly thought he was going to be, and this is the breakout game for him. And also just what a throw by Caleb Williams there. He's really just improving week by week.
All right, so this next play is going to be another first career touchdown, but this time for Britton Brown lined up back here in the backfield. It's just going to be a simple pitch, and the Bengals defense just doesn't handle it. It's perfect blocking. He just has a lane and easy touchdown.
Yeah, Britton Brown just runs right in. Like you said, amazing blocking from the Bears, which we don't say a lot. But the Bengals defense this year has been absolutely atrocious, and this play is a perfect example of why.
And you just got to feel good when a play like this happens. When a player gets their first career NFL touchdown, that's just always a good feeling, and they get to keep that ball and just cherish this moment for the rest of their life.
And that was something that, as soon as Ben Johnson came in, was immediately fixed on the Bears. They traded and acquired, I think, 3 different offensive linemen this year, and not just in the draft, but also free agency and trade. It's really impressive, the turnaround that Ben Johnson is trying to make in this offense. And so this next play here is going to be Ben Johnson absolutely in his bag with another trick play. So Tyson Bagent down here is kind of just disguised, and he's going to slowly creep back, and these guys are going to slowly creep forward to kind of disguise what's going on here. Caleb's going to throw a backwards pass to Tyson Bagent, and Caleb's just going to be kind of like nonchalantly, I'm just kind of walking away. I want to get out of this play. And Tyson Bagent, if you look at where his eyes are going, they're downfield for the first couple seconds. And then suddenly you can start to realize, hey, there's a screen developing over here with Caleb Williams as the receiver. And just a terrific play there. First down, it's exactly the type of thing you want to see out of Ben Johnson designing plays.
Yeah, Ben Johnson was really cooking with this one. To put Bagent out there as like in that wide receiver stack, the 3 wide receivers, and then for him to look downfield to fool the whole entire defense and then find a wide open Caleb Williams for a big end.
Yeah, I mean, just a beautiful play design. Just the creativity is unlimited with Ben Johnson, clearly, and it's awesome to just watch him every single week.
And so this next play is going to be angry runs winner Kyle Monungai, pitch to the right. It's going to be terrific blocking once again, but also really bad run-stopping defense. I mean, if you pause right back here, we lost it for a second. All right, we're back. So if you look back here for a second, that is 4 guys on top of each other. That's not where you're supposed to be. That's not assignment football. And they just completely get blocked. Kyle Monungai runs through people, keeps running, and just absolute powerhouse.
Yeah, I mean, that run was indeed angry if I've ever seen one. I mean, just this guy has just no stop to his running. He's just running head first, just running right at him. And what's up with these Rutgers 7th-round picks in the league? I mean, we keep having them now all of a sudden.
Whoever the Rutgers running back is now, he better hope he's a 7th-round draft pick because they keep on coming.
All right, so this next play, you're going to have a little jet motion here from Roma Dunze, but it's actually not going to go to him. It's going to be DJ Moore on the reverse, who absolutely gets the edge and just dives for the pylon here. From that angle, you don't see it too much, but on this next angle here, you're going to see that he actually dives and puts his arm out, extends to the pylon without going out of bounds. That's a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, just a great play from DJ Moore, a really well-designed play by Ben Johnson. And just using that speed, using the full body to extend, just get into that end zone. What a play. Good touchdown right there from DJ Moore.
Yeah, again, Ben Johnson in his bag, fully in his bag. Creative play design, worked out for a touchdown.
And so this next play is actually defense, which didn't happen a lot in this game, but it's a very big momentum shifting play for the Bears. You're going to watch Tremaine Edmonds right here, and you're going to see a little bit of a curl right there, I believe. Nope, it's going to be a curl from Chase, and Chase is just going to sit there, Chase Brown, sit there, and Tremaine Edmonds is going to just step in front of Joe Flacco's ball and run it back, but he was touched by Chase Brown before, so it's actually just down at the 4.
Yeah, in this moment, you really saw Joe Flacco panic, which we don't really see cool, calm Joe Flacco ever panic, and he just tossed it up. Tremaine Edmonds gets a big pick, which they think is a pick 6, but he was touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, the announcers were calling it like it was a pick 6, and it all seemed like this was the end of the game right there. It ended up not being, obviously, but just a really nice play that really, at this stage in the game, probably should have been the game-winning pick there from Tremaine Edmonds.
So we're going to go to another Bears game. We're going to go to Bears-Giants from this week. We have 3rd and 9, 6:22 left in the first. We see Caleb Williams find Rome Odunze for a big first down. You see Brian Burns out as a linebacker. What are you doing, Brian Burns? Get back on the edge. 15-yard gain for the Bears.
You kind of just see Brian Burns overplay that route and then get burnt coming the opposite way.
Yeah, I mean, just also a really good play from Odunze, who had a quiet game the week before. Like, we just watched the Bears highlights, didn't see any Rome Odunze highlights in that. Just a really nice play, good 15-yard gain right there.
So that play set up 1st and goal on the 10 for the Bears. You see Luther Burden in motion, which sets up Monungai powering through the middle for the Bears' first score of the game and the lead. In the snow was coming down. Yeah. Guys, what do we think about that?
I mean, how can you not love Monungai at this point? Like, he's just a fun, tough, powerful running back. Another 7th-round pick out of Rutgers, just like Pacheco, and just a lot of fun plays with him.
I mean, he wins angry runs from that Bengals game, and then he just continues to do it. He's like, why would I stop after one angry run? Let me try to win another.
He wants to back it up. So our next play, we have some Giants action here. We see it's 2nd and 10. Jackson Dart snaps the ball. He finds Darius Lane. The Bears were in man coverage. What a freaking catch by Darius Lane.
Truly one of the craziest catches I've ever seen. It was like, how do you do that? But also, this is a NFL team that just loves to have crazy catches with Odell and Wan'Dale Robinson having a couple and also Malik having a couple. It's just, where do you find these guys?
And Darius,
I mean,
sorry.
Just what a catch from Slade. Wasn't obviously the catch of the week in total football, but just an absurd catch. Just really good hands from Slade. Way to just bring it in the snow also, which is really impressive. Just adds a little bit of wetness to the game and just impressive play.
Yeah, and Slade is somebody who doesn't catch the ball a lot. He's someone who has severe case of butterfingers, to be honest. So the next play, we have 3rd and 2nd. That sling catch set up the Giants for a really good drive here. Wan'Dale in motion. He fakes the pitch to Singletary. Dart runs it right in, and he just has that swagger. He's hitting the dance moves in the end zone. Guys, what do we think of Jackson Dart?
He's got that running ability. I mean, you see it every game. He's taking quarterback draws or quarterback powers, and he's just walking it in. And, you don't see a lot of, 20-yard or 40-yard rushes from him. But when they need that, agile 6 or 7 yards, it's terrific.
Yeah, I mean, Jackson Dart, he has that game-changing speed and running ability. But also, you got to watch out a little bit, I feel like, if you're the Giants. And I think that's, why Daboll ended up getting fired. And we're going to get to that later in this game. It's just too many Jackson Dart run calls that just put your young quarterback in a dangerous spot.
So our next play here, the first half is winding down. The Giants are trying to look to add before the half ends on the score. Dart he pump fakes. Bears are pressuring. He makes a beautiful roll right, finds Theo Johnson for a big gain, which sets up a big field goal for the New York Giants.
I mean, you absolutely set yourself up to win in this game. You take the lead. You have it at the half. You just need to finish.
Yeah, it's another game where it seems every single time with these Giants, they take the lead, they have the lead at halftime, they have the lead towards the end of the game, and they just need to finish. And they typically don't come up finishing.
So let's go to the second half here. It's the third quarter. The Giants are on the move again. We have Jackson Dart trying to hand the ball off to Tyrone Tracy. He slips out. He gets a little sticky. He runs for the touchdown. The Giants take a 10-point lead. And you would think right now the Giants have this game in full control.
I mean, I was saying earlier that Dart doesn't typically have those 20-yard touchdowns, but this is a 24-yard touchdown, and it's really an impressive touchdown. It's just, again, the issue of, are you sending him out to run too many times? Are you not helping him enough on the offensive line? Are all of his weapons going on the injury reserve list, which they are?
Yeah, I mean, the way I would see it is Jackson Dart is known to be a bit of a reckless runner, and I think as a coach, you maybe need to save him from himself with your play calling and, maybe try to draw up some run plays where he's going to be a little safer or just like do less runs in general just to protect your young quarterback, especially in a season where you're not going to make the playoffs. You're just trying to see improvement.
So our next play here, we have the Bears trying to respond. 17-7. It's 3rd and 4. We see Caleb Williams face a lot of pressure from Brian Burns. He gets off of it. He just gets absolutely, again, sticky. He gets Thibodeau off of him, and he just gets the first down. Huge first down for the Bears to keep them in the game.
And I think the stat at one point in this game was that the Giants had 12 pressures and 0 sacks. You cannot get that many pressures and not finish.
Yeah, it's a lot of just, with these Giants, it's the story over and over again is just, you got to be able to finish. In this case, they can't wrap up at all. But also, it's the story over and over again that Caleb he gets out of these all the time. I mean, every time you watch Caleb Williams, he's going to get out of a sack.
So our next play here, the Bears did not score on that drive. It's 2nd and 6. We see the same fake to Tracy. Dart takes off to the left, but this time he loses the football and ends up getting a concussion. This was just a crucial part of the game. You can feel really momentum changing for the Bears.
I mean, it's not something you notice at first, but when you watch the replay, you see Jackson Dart get knocked out, and most knockouts are only for a couple seconds at a time. You see him out for a second, and then he kind of wakes back up, and he lifts himself up a little bit before he realizes, I kind of can't see straight, and, he's out for the rest of the game.
Yeah, my head's all of a sudden feeling a little dizzy. It's these dangerous the dangerous running style of Jackson Dart paired up with the aggressive coaching of Brian Daboll that's just leading this injury that it kind of seemed inevitable when you watch the Giants every game.
Like I said, the Bears gained a lot of momentum from that fumble and getting the ball back. So now it's still a 10-point game. There's 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and we're going to see Caleb Williams once again get really sticky out here. The Giants send 5. Williams rolls to the left side, and he just runs it all the way down to the goal line for a 29-yard run. How are we feeling about Caleb Williams just being himself, really?
It's just really nice to see Caleb Williams finally come to what he was drafted to be. And, there was a lot of conversation before the season that, does Caleb need to prove it this year to stay starting quarterback, which to me is kind of ridiculous. You're on one of the worst teams last year, and you just don't get a second chance this year. But no, he proves it. He puts all of the haters to doubt. He absolutely executes this season so far.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think he needs to be like the best quarterback in the league in year 2. He just needed to show like a good amount of improvement to becoming more like he was in college. And that's what he's doing this year. He's getting to this ground game. He's hitting more of the throws downfield, and he's just, with Ben Johnson at creative play calling, their offense is looking a lot better this year than last year.
So our next play, we're going to see the Bears finish the drive here. We see the Giants send a lot of pressure, which leaves Rome wide open for the easy score. Guys, what do we think about the Giants' defense sending so much pressure when it's 1st and goal?
I think, they're kind of in the right headspace because 1st and goal, it's typically run play, but you kind of just do tendency counters sometimes, and that helped the Bears there. And, one of the things about this offense is that they needed to win, and they needed to win well, have good offensive scoring, and they did that.
Yeah, I mean, just an impressive performance from these Bears to just be able to get in this end zone here, but also just I mean it's a risk reward play of the Giants sending pressure. I think overall it makes a lot of sense, but the risk reward is that it looks awesome once it gets through, but it looks so bad if it doesn't get through.
So our next play here, we see after a Giants shanked punt, we see Caleb Williams on a legacy drive. He rolls left, and he just takes it. He just outruns the whole Giants defense and gives the Bears the lead with 1:47 left, which gives the Bears the win.
I mean, if you drafted Caleb Williams in your fantasy draft this year, you're feeling good because he's got the rushing stats. He's got the passing stats. He is on pace to be the first Bears quarterback in history to have 4,000 passing yards. And, you think back, when was the last time the Bears had someone that could do that? Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah. I mean, the Bears are a historically terrible franchise at the quarterback position. And Caleb Williams has a very high probability of becoming the best Bears quarterback ever. And he hasn't even been, close to what his ceiling is yet.
If you ask Bears fans, in 2018, Mitch Trubisky, that's your guy. That's franchise cornerstone. But now you get Caleb Williams, and he seems like the savior for this Bears franchise.
I actually have some insider information on that. And back in 2018, you do not think Mitch Trubisky is a savior. You think, oh, man, we are barely winning with this guy because he was throwing interceptions. He threw plenty of touchdowns to get them to where they were, but he also had some bad balls and wasn't the best quarterback. But it was what the Bears needed, and they had a very good offense surrounding him that year.
Yeah, and that defense was also great. And Mitchell Trubisky was just able to do just enough to be good and competent and lead that team. And that's what a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL are. I would say there's a lot of quarterbacks who are just right on the bar and just they'll win a few games, but they're not going to step out and make your team win games. But then there's quarterbacks this year in the NFL that I think have really impressed me, and they are winning games for their teams. I would say those quarterbacks are Matthew Stafford. I think is definitely one of them. I think Sam Darnold also right now has been really impressive. I think that Lamar, since he's been back, has been really impressive so far for the Ravens, which he always is. No shocker that Lamar Jackson has been impressive. But just a lot of really good quarterbacks. I think Baker Mayfield started out the year really strong. Now they have some injuries. I think the NFL's in a really, really good spot with where these quarterbacks are.
And to talk about AFC North quarterbacks, Joe Burrow is activated from the IR. He's got his 21-day practice window open. Now, that doesn't mean he's coming back this week, but here in the next 2 weeks, he could be back. And that's something that's going to really elevate the play in the AFC North because it has been mediocre at best. Aaron Rodgers has been okay. This past week, he was not terrific against, the Chargers, but they're a good team, but Aaron Rodgers looked really bad. Lamar's coming back. He's winning games. Joe Burrow coming back soon. They can start winning games, even though they've been winning games with Joe Flacco. And the Browns, they're doing the Brown stuff.
Yeah,
but
they're there.
They're trying to figure it out.
They're not very good, but they're around.
You guys are forgetting a quarterback that I am really high on, Drake May.
Yes.
Drake May has been balling out. The Patriots are winning games. Are the Patriots back?
I think they are, and it sucks because I don't think they should be. I don't think NFL fans deserve the Patriots to just be right back. The Patriots deserve 20 years of suffering after what they did to the league. They don't deserve a good quarterback, but sadly, have to accept it. I think Drake May is really, really good. But let's move on from the NFL and talk about some college football that's been happening recently. And what a game that IU football versus Penn State was. IU obviously did not play their best in this game, but I think it's about how you play when you're at your worst and still can you find ways to win when you are at your worst. And that final drive that Fernando led and that Omar Cooper catch to end it, just Charlie in that game, the entire game, just a lot of awesome plays that kept IU all the way into that game and to finally win it at the very end.
Sorry, you want it?
You got it.
I got it? All right. We're going to talk about Charlie Beckett. That catch to set up the game-winning touchdown was incredible. I saw a lot of Penn State fans on Twitter after the game saying, there's no way he caught that. That was not a catch. 100% that was a catch. and then the Omar Cooper touchdown just to follow it up. I'm sorry, I'm going to glaze it a little bit. That might be the catch of the year, in my opinion.
I think that might be the catch of the last 10 years in college football.
It's truly one of the most impressive catches you could do because if that right foot came down first, he might have been out of bounds. But he's able to control his body so well. He kept that right foot up until that left foot was down for almost a second before he put that right foot down.
Yeah, I mean, just an impressive catch. Let's give credit to the ref for seeing it clearly and making that right call. It was really impressive. I still don't, well, whenever I watch that play, I don't understand how the other foot didn't come down first. I think God just didn't want it to. Just a wildly impressive catch, and it saves IU from losing that game. And just, it survived and advanced in college football. This is the league of parity, and just survive, get on to the next week. They're still number 2 in the playoff poll, and that's what we're going to talk about now is the new playoff poll that just came out.
And that shouldn't have that loss or that almost loss shouldn't hurt IU because you're going into Penn State. And Penn State, just like Iowa, is a very hard place to play. Even with the year they're having, very bad, very difficult place to play. And IU stays up there. You stay up at 2. And, Texas A&M doesn't make the jump that some people thought they were going to make, and Ohio State stays at the 1.
Penn State is a very talented football team still. They still have a lot of good wide receivers. They still have the running back duo of Singleton and Allen. It's just a great team.
Yeah, and I mean, that crowd was also rocking. I think it was Joel Klatt who said this after the game, and he was on the call, that was one of the top 3 loudest he'd ever heard that Penn State crowd get in that second half. And that's just impressive, to say the least, because that crowd gets loud all the time. It was not an easy environment. They went in. It was their first ever win in that environment. First time that IU football ever has won in Happy Valley. And just an impressive victory. And they should stay at number 2 in the polls. That's exactly where they should be. Let's talk about the rest of the poll as a whole, though.
I will bring up my first problem, and it's Miami. Miami is number 16, and they haven't looked terrific, but also they are number 15 maybe.
Yeah.
But they are also spots ahead of Louisville, or however the people from Kentucky say it. But Louisville beat them, and they should be higher than Miami I just believe that that's a spot that the playoff poll is messed up.
Yeah, I think the ACC is just a complicated spot because one of those teams is going to make it, but none of them are good. None of them seem like they deserve to make it or even want to make it. They all keep losing. I think if I had to place a bet on who it was going to be, probably Georgia Tech at this point. But also, they have a tough schedule ahead where they have Georgia. Now, that won't be an ACC loss, but, they'll probably end up with 2 losses and losing to Georgia. Just a lot of really tough matchups for these ACC teams. And I think it's just this is the worst Power 4 conference that we have. And which team's going to make it? It's complete chaos. It's just a lot of fun, honestly.
Yeah. The problem that I had with this week's college football rankings was how little the committee cared about the Oregon-Iowa game. That was such a huge game this week, and they moved Oregon up 1 spot and Iowa down 1 spot. I feel like Oregon deserved a little praise for the game they played, and I think they should have been either 6 or 7 on the rankings.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of it was that you're going to struggle to be able to move them above a team like Ole Miss or a team like Texas Tech, who does have an overall better resume. And Texas Tech is not lost except for the time they didn't have their starting quarterback, Baron Morton. Ole Miss is just, they keep winning these games in the SEC. They don't always look the most impressive, but they've stacked together quite a few good quality wins. It's hard to just put them above. I think Oregon's going to climb. They have a lot of ranked games ahead of them still also. They're going to continue to win ranked games and climb in this poll.
All right, so one last discussion point. A lot of complaints I've heard is about Notre Dame at 9. How are we feeling about that?
So far, Notre Dame at 9, I'm not a fan of it. I think Texas, Oklahoma, and BYU all have a better resume than Notre Dame, and Notre Dame has the easiest schedule the rest of the way, so they're going to continue to be in that playoff push.
Yeah, I mean, unless Notre Dame slips up at Pittsburgh this next week, I just don't see how they don't just cleanly win out and advance to the playoffs. I don't like it. I don't really like Notre Dame that much, but they haven't beaten anyone either. It's just like there's nothing you can really do about it. They're at this point, the committee clearly likes them. The committee's clearly going to put them in the poll as long as they win out.
And we'll have to discuss more about this and more next time on Inside the Playbook.